In this Pecha Kucha presentation, I will be examining the city of Shanghai. I will be considering the heritage of the foreign trade port, alternative spaces within the city, the importance of cultural memory, the theory of the flaneur, and self-regulation within the city, and finally, the globalization of Shanghai. I will further be exploring these topics in the portfolio to follow. Shanghai, home to over 20 million people and attracting an average of 6.6 million overseas tourists a year, is the 9th most visited city in the world. As a result of its rapid growth over the past 2 decades, Shanghai is one of the world's most influential leading cities, exerting finance, culture, and a fascinating futuristic skyline. Shanghai, in the east of China, was once a small fishing and textiles village, yet, with its desirable port location, Shanghai soon became a centre for foreign trade and settlement. The Bund became the most famous and spectacular street in Asia, attracting thousands and becoming a symbol of its dominant role in globalization and the East. The Bund became the centre of international trade and saw the earliest foreign settlements after the city was opened as one of 5 treaty ports in the Treaty of Nanjing and ending the Opium War in 1842, the first settlement being that of an English company's office in 1846. The Bund today shows a portion of this historic foreign presence entwined within the 21st century skyline and filters throughout the traditional Chinese city. In the early 20th century, geographical and social divisions were developed within Shanghai, creating class boundaries and significantly visual distinctions between the higher class alternative space and the surrounding poverty-stricken lower class areas. An example of these alternative spaces is the French Quarter in the outskirts of central Shanghai. The French Quarter in the midst of the Chinese city streets can be related to Foucault's plague city of congregating minorities. Whether it be the intention of confining minority or restricting the majority, Shanghai follows an innate structure of social class divisions, hosting a diverse cross-section of poverty and prosperity which exists in most, if not all, large cities around the world. The modern influence of Western immigration in Shanghai still stands as dominant as international trading once had in the late 19th century. Shanghai Racquet Club stands 20 miles from the centre of the city and offers an alternative living space to Chinese culture, offering Western ideas of landscape and cuisine. It runs parallel to Foucault's idea of containing minorities, strengthening the distinct divisions between class struggles. The city is an intricate structure of spaces relating to history, experience, and cultural memory, taking a place and situating it within a context, creating a shifting ideology to both individuals and as a shared collective memory. It is not necessarily based on fact or history, but on interpretation and meaning. The importance of cultural memory within a city is imperative to the keeping of cultural preservation. This image depicts a relatively new cultural memory that couldn't be avoided if you were travelling on a busy Yan'an highway. Popular with taxi drivers, the tale of the sleeping dragon delaying construction due to being woken by drilling is a factually incorrect yet strong memory of mine and my experience in Shanghai. While many still swear that dragon decided the road's fate, city planning records say otherwise. In the rapid growth of westernization, a shared cultural memory between myself and my schoolmates of the grounds of the Yiyuan Gardens will no doubt differ from an older generation local when considering the interpretation and meaning of the former Emperor's Gardens. A regular meeting place between friends, Yiyuan holds personal significance to myself as an individual, as a space of independence, adventure, and mischief. When considering present-day ideologies of Shanghai and its great modern skyline, my personal interpretation of the city is one of great difference, a collection of personal experiences clustered together to create an individual memory. The parts with the old traditions of burning incense and men sitting outdoors playing board games while observing the passing world, and more importantly, exploring them as an independent teenager. One of the main attractions to a city is the theory of anonymity, and the ability to disappear amongst a sea of individuals, becoming invisible in the sheer vast population of a bustling city atmosphere. To avoid judgment or attention, and just blend into the background, is an ideal state of being and appeals to a vast amount of individuals, and is only obtainable in the space of a city. This anonymity allows a traditional pastime of the Shanghainese. It can be described through the theory of the flaneur as explained by Baudelin in 1863. He states, "His passion and his profession are to become flesh with the crowd, to be the centre of the world and yet to remain hidden from the world. To be flaneur is to be a spectator, looking for and at experiences, a lifestyle which has been practiced in the city for centuries." However, in modern age of the city, it can be argued that the idea of the flaneur can no longer exist. Due to the amount of people watching you, whether it be community self-regulation or the development of technology and authority regulation, the current state of the city means you are never not being watched. The contemporary city, Foucault argues, is disciplinary. We self-discipline not through force but through regulation. Foucault described the early practice of the panopticon, a tower structure used to regulate behaviour over a vast area with minimal enforcement, an all-seeing eye. Foucault claimed that the knowledge of being watched will evoke self-discipline whether the panopticon is manned or not. The risk is too high. This practice has transformed the way we live. The placements of CCTV cameras and the threat of law enforcement combined creates a system of self-regulation within busy cities wherein recent statistics claim we are caught on camera over 250 times a day. This idea, in contrast to suburban surveillance, relies heavily on self-regulation through the threat of law enforcement opposed to the regulation through moral questioning within a suburban community. Within Shanghai, there is a significant difference in regulation within the city. Controversially, many areas of the city are famously unregulated. The fake goods market at Shangyang, one of the most famous markets among tourists, was the largest in the city and completely unregulated. The authority turned a blind eye to the illegal practices of imitation goods due to its financial benefit to the tourism economy. The promise of cheap living and pirate goods is a common representation and ideology of Shanghai as a city and a tourist destination. In the last 15 years, the city has transformed into a glistening metropolis of striking contrast between the old and the new, containing more skyscrapers than New York and an underground that will soon be larger than London's in size. More than 500 multinational companies have their headquarters in Shanghai. With the increasing globalization of the city, the risk of losing heritage, tradition, or cultural memory is high. The increasing westernization of Shanghai could lead to the future decrease and eventually extermination of the city's culture. With preservation acts and the use of cultural memory impacting on new influences on the city, it is imperative that cultural continuity is preserved and maintained within the foundation and memories of the inhabitants of Shanghai to keep the city alive. I will further explore the ideas I have touched upon on this presentation in more depth in the following portfolio, focusing on alternative spaces and the increasing westernization of Shanghai and its impact on the heritage and culture of China's largest city. Thank you.